Now, सबसे पहले when you are looking into this picture, maybe you are having this picture as per your MCQs. This is, if you see some of the people, some of the, there are wings and over what we call as God ऊपर से, and नीचे दिखाया जा रहा many people together, मतलब they are all together carrying different flags, and this is showing the pact between nations. Means the painter is trying to visualize a country, a place where people are living together. And why this is there? This is because at one point 1900, आपका 1850 से लेके 1945 का जो period था, that was a period of turmoil in the entire world politics. पूरे वर्ल्ड के पॉलिटिक्स में वो पर्टिकुलर एरा जो है, दैट वाज अ पीरियड ऑफ टर्मोइल, बिकॉज द कंट्रीज यूज्ड टू सीज अदर्स, दूसरों के पावर्स को सीज करना, ईदर थ्रू इंपीरियलिज्म, ईदर थ्रू डायरेक्ट वॉर, या फिर किसी भी अलग तरीके से. सो दे वुड ट्राई टू. सो दिस इन 1848, सॉरी, अ फ्रेंच आर्टिस्ट, ये जो फ्रेंच आई हैव emphasized because sometimes it comes. Frederick was a dash artist. American artist, French artist, Japanese artist, Spanish artist. Prepared a series of 4 prints visualizing his dream of a world made up of democratic and social republics. Democratic, where the people have the power. Social, where the difference between the rich and the poor is eliminated. और एज ही कॉल्ड देम, और उसने अपने जो उसका नाम था वो ये रखा था, उसके प्रिंट का नाम था ये. द फर्स्ट प्रिंट शोज द पीपल्स ऑफ यूरोप एंड अमेरिका, मेन एंड विमेन ऑफ ऑल एजेस, सोशल क्लासेस, marching in a long train and offering homage to the Statue of Liberty. Why liberty? Why liberty? Because that is the symbol of freedom, being free. The artists of the time of French Revolution personified liberty as a female figure. This is there in the, आपके नीचे आता है. As you see, you can recognize the torch of enlightenment. ये पेपर में आया हुआ है. She bears in one hand and charters of rights of man in the other. एक में उसके पास टॉर्च है, दूसरे में उसके पास चार्टर का मतलब होता है the constitution, a kind of constitution or a kind of list. On the earth, in the foreground of the image, lie shattered remains of the symbols of absolutist institutions. जो नीचे आपके गिरे पड़े हैं उनका कहना है this is absolutist, मतलब जहां there was the power was within one particular person, maybe monarchy. इन शोरेज यूटोपियन, नाउ आपने राइट साइड में देख सकते हो द वर्ड इज रिटन यूटोपियन. यूटोपियन इज अ विजन विच मे, और एक्चुअली ऐसा नहीं हो सकता है. इट कैन बी, यू कैन से समथिंग आइडियल, जैसे हम टीचर्स है ना, आइडियल स्टूडेंट का एक पिक्चर बनाते हैं. इवन सम ऑफ अस हैव दैट परसेप्शंस कि आइडियल स्टूडेंट ऐसा होता है. It actually doesn't exist. Nobody is ideal. No government can be ideal. The peoples of the world are grouped as distinct nations, identifying through their flags and national costume. Leading the procession way past the Statue of Liberty are US and Switzerland, सबसे पहले, by which this time were already nation states. मतलब ये सबसे आगे क्यों थे? Why were? अब this can be your question in your assertion and reasoning. This particular can be in your assertion and reasoning that leading the procession way past the Statue of Liberty are US and Switzerland. Why? Because they were already nation states. मतलब उन्होंने democracy attain कर लिया था. They were already having the nation as a यूनिक आइडेंटिटी, जबकि बाकी कंट्रीज आइडेंटिटी के लिए लड़ रहे थे. France, identifiable by the revolutionary tricolor, has just reached the statue because they have still not achieved. She is followed by the people of Germany bearing the black, red and gold flag. Interestingly, at the time of when Shorey created, German people did not yet exist as a united nation. फिर भी उसने किया था. The image, the flag they carry is an expression of liberal hopes in 1848 to unify the numerous German speaking principality into a nation state under a democratic constitution. उनके पीछे ऑस्ट्रिया, टू किंगडम ऑफ टू सिसिलीज दैट इज इन इटली, Lombardy, Poland, England, Ireland, Hungary and Russia all are parts of Europe. And from the heavens, Christ, saint, angels are gazing the scene. They have been used by the artist to symbolize fraternity. Fraternity का मतलब होता है brotherhood among the nations of the world. Why? They are all together. The Christ, the saints, the angels. That shows everybody has left their own differences and they are together in brotherhood. इनमें से आपके इस तरीके के क्वेश्चन आ सकते हैं, right? Anyone, if anyone has any single problem, kindly let me know. The chapter will deal with many of the issues visualized by Shorey during the 19th century. Nationalism emerged as a force which brought up sweeping changes in the political and mental world of Europe. Why do we study Europe when we are Indians? Because somewhere all the European countries have been our inspiration. वो हमारे inspiration रहे हैं. From the French liberty, from the French Revolution, India had learned democracy, fraternity. From Russia, we had learned socialism. So that is why we are learning how when people together envisage their nation, then only we are able to fight for our rights. The end of these changes was the emergence of nation state. यहाँ nation state is a single country beta. In place of multinational dynastic empires of Europe. अगर आप इंडिया के पास को पढ़ोगे तो you will see within Gujarat we had 543 kings. Now it is a single state. The concept and practices of a modern state in which a centralized power exercised sovereign control over a clearly defined territory had been developing over a long period of time in Europe. But a nation state was in which the majority of its citizens and not only its rulers came to develop a sense of common identity, shared history or descent. This is actually the definition we give to nation. Nation हम किसको कहते हैं? Any place जहां लोगों का जो एक common identity है, either we are identifying ourselves commonly through any culture, language और हमारी जो हिस्ट्री है दैट हैज बीन लाइक आज मैं पढ़ रही थी टुडे आई वाज रीडिंग अबाउट कंधार. यू माइट बी नोइंग व्हाट इज कंधार. अ प्लेस इन काबुल, अ प्लेस इन अफगान, राइट? नाउ अफगान at one point was part of India. It is said in Mahabharat that महाभारत में जो गांधारी थी she belonged to this area. So somewhere हमारी history common है. Yes, due to other factors now we are separate countries. The commonness did not exist from time immemorial. It was forged through struggles, through actions of leader and common people. ये commonness जो है वो ऐसा नहीं कि पहले से था, साथ में रहना पड़ गया, annex हो गए, दो countries एक हो गई, तो we have got it. Like we part of Pakistan, we all live together. That was because of the struggles through the action of our leaders. Later, because of the differences, we have separated. Now, what या फिर how did, मतलब क्वेश्चन है how did French Revolution envisage this nation state? कैसे? The first clear expression of nationalism came with the French Revolution in 1789. As you would remember that उस वक्त में King Louis XVI was the absolute monarch. There were 3 estates. अगर आपको याद हो, in 9th standard we had studied the first and second estate people had the privileges. They were exempted from the taxes, while the third estate, which comprised of all the people belonging to the common category, were supposed to pay the taxes. The political and constitutional changes that came in the wake of French Revolution led to the transfer of sovereignty from the monarchy to the body of French citizens. The revolution proclaimed that it was the people who would henceforth constitute the nation and shape its destiny. ये हम लोगों ने सब कुछ जो है, we have already done it in our 9th standard when we had started with our French Revolution. The French revolutionaries, ये पेपर में आपके वैसे सब्जेक्टिव में आता है कि what were some of the measures that had been introduced by the French revolutionary. Now it can come as which of them was not adopted, which was them was adopted, ऐसे questions में आपके आ सकते हैं, or it can come as a case based study. Create a sense of collective identity among the French people. The idea of la patrie means हम लोग कहते हैं motherland. They had identified as fatherland. Les citoyens means the common people were not first estate, second estate, third estate. Neither were they nobles, clergy or third estate, they were citizens. Emphasize the nation of a united community enjoying equal rights under a constitution. मतलब उन्होंने जो सबसे पहले किया था वो ये था, proper formal constitution, equal rights, the country envisaged as fatherland and the people of the country as citizens. A new French flag, the tricolor, was chosen to replace the former royal standard. The Estate General was elected by the body of active citizens and renamed National Assembly. The active citizens were all the citizens about 25 years who possessed wealth or they were in the tax brackets. And जो लोग इलेक्शन लड़ना चाहते थे, they had to be under the highest tax bracket. मेंबर बनने के लिए टैक्स ब्रैकेट में होना जरूरी था and to contest the election highest. New hymns were composed, the songs, oath taken, martyrs commemorated, all in the name of nation. Means they were all glorified. A centralized administrative system was put in place and it formulated uniform law for all citizens within its territory. Internal custom duties and dues were abolished and a uniform system of weights and measures were adopted. These were the centralized, ये वाला जो है, these all were introduced by Napoleon Bonaparte. Regional dialects were discouraged and French as it was spoken and written in Paris, मतलब पेरिस में जिस तरीके की फ्रेंच बोली जाती थी उसको कॉमन लैंग्वेज बनाया गया. उसकी जो तोड़ फोड़ वाली लैंग्वेज होती है दैट वाज डिस्करेज. लाइक हम हिंदी बोलते हैं, जो हिंदी एक्चुअली प्रॉपरली हम लोग बोलते हैं, दैट इफ यू गो टू इलाहाबाद वहाँ की हिंदी अलग है, इफ यू गो टू महाराष्ट्र वहाँ की अलग है, तो दैट इज कॉल्ड एज रीजनल डायलेक्ट्स, the pure form. The revolutionaries further declared that it was a mission and destiny of the French nation to liberate the peoples of Europe from despotism. Despotism मतलब darkness, the absolute power of the monarchies. उनका मानना था यूरोप में जितनी भी जगहों पर मोनार्की जो है वो लोगों को सप्रेस करती थी, वहां से उनको जो है फ्रीडम दिलवाना है. Means they wanted to help the peoples of Europe to become nations. So, when the news of the events in France reached the different cities in Europe, students and other members of educated middle classes began setting up clubs, Jacobin clubs. आपके फ्रांस में पहला जैकोबिन क्लब्स था, headed by Maximilien Robespierre. These activities and campaigns prepared the way for French armies जो होलैंड, बेल्जियम, होलैंड अब नीदरलैंड से, स्विट्जरलैंड and much of Italy में गए. With the outbreak of these war, French armies began to carry the idea of nationalism abroad. और इस तरीके से उन्होंने अपनी जो ideas है that they spread to other areas. अब जो हम पढ़ रहे हैं, this is about the administrative reforms that was exactly formed by Napoleon within the wide swathe of territory that came under his control. Napoleon set about introducing many of the reforms that he had already introduced in France. जो उसने वहाँ किया था वही. Through a return to monarchy, Napoleon had no doubt destroyed democracy in France. उसने dictatorship लगाया था वहाँ पर. His period is called as military dictatorship. Yet उसने बहुत सारे अच्छे reforms भी किए थे, which was in the welfare of the common citizens. But in the administrative field, he had incorporated revolutionary principles in order to make the system more rational and efficient. The Civil Code of 1804, which is also called as Napoleonic Code, उसके according जो पहले आपके फर्स्ट एस्टेट, सेकेंड एस्टेट के privileges थे, that were abolished. Established equality before the law and secured the right to property. This code was exported to other regions. जहां जहां उसने अपने कंट्रोल कर रखा था, उन सब जगहों पर ये सारे रूल्स लगाए गए थे. In the Dutch Republic, in Switzerland, in Italy, Germany, Napoleon simplified administrative divisions, abolished the feudal system, freed the peasant from serfdom. Serfdom मतलब bonded labor. Manorial dupes, मेनर्स होते थे जो बड़े बड़े आपके चाटियों के जो ओनर्स होते थे, उनको जो काम करने के बदले उनको जो ड्यूज देने पड़ते थे वो. In the towns too, guild is a kind of tax, toll tax जो हम बोलते हैं वैसा, they were removed. Transport and communication systems were improved. Peasant, artisan, workers and new businessmen enjoyed a newfound freedom. उनको अच्छा लग रहा था क्योंकि अभी थोड़ा सा एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन आपका अच्छा था. Businessmen and small scale producers of goods in particular began to realize that uniform law, standardized weights and measures, common national currency उनके लिए आसान होगा. क्योंकि जब आप करेंसीज को चेंज करते हो ना, लाइक इंडियाज करेंसी इज मोर वैल्यू टू द साउथ ईस्टर्न कंट्री, लेकिन अगर आप यूरोप की तरफ जाते हो या वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज की तरफ जाते हो तो वहां हमारी वैल्यू कम हो जाती है. मतलब कि हम उनके 20 रुपए हमारे एक, मतलब कि उनका 1 रुपया हमारा 20 रुपए होता है. whereas it is opposite in the southern मतलब ईस्टर्न कंट्रीज में. तो दैट बिकम्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट. मीन्स अगर आप यहां से 1000 रुपए लेकर जा रहे हो तो उनके अनुसार आप सिर्फ 200 रुपए लेकर आए हो. सो दैट वे यू टेंड टू बी इन ट्रबल. तो यूनिफॉर्म जो करेंसी था दैट फैसिलिटेटेड देयर बिजनेस. However, in the areas conquered, the reactions of the local populations to French rule were mixed. जहां जहां उन्होंने फ्रांस का रूल कर रखा था. Initially, in many places such as Holland and Switzerland, as well as in cities like Brussels, Mainz, Milan and Warsaw. Warsaw आपका पोलैंड का कैपिटल. The French armies were welcomed as harbingers of liberty. शुरू शुरू में तो सबने बड़ी उसकी मतलब कि everybody was happy, लेकिन जब taxations वगैरह ज़्यादा हो गए then it was a problem. But the initial enthusiasm soon turned to hostility as it became clear that the new administrative arrangement did not go hand in hand with political freedom. मतलब लोगों के पास इतना फ्रीडम नहीं था. इंक्रीज टैक्सेशन, टैक्सेस बढ़ा दिए. सेंसरशिप यानी कि मीडिया पर पूरा कंट्रोल. फोर्स्ड कंस्क्रिप्शन इनटू द फ्रेंच आर्मीज रिक्वायर्ड, जबरदस्ती जो है लोगों को फ्रेंच आर्मी में भर्ती कर लिया जाता था. ऑल सीम टू आउटवे द एडवांटेजेस ऑफ एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव चेंजेस. जो चेंजेस थे वो इतने अच्छे नहीं लगे जिससे, क्योंकि उससे ज्यादा बुरे थे जो बाकी रूल्स जो उसने इंट्रोड्यूस किए. सो दिस इज नेपोलियंस एंड. मीन्स यहां तक हम लोग जो, दैट इज वाई देयर वॉज अ वॉर in battle which is called as Battle of Waterloo, and Napoleon Bonaparte was defeated in that war, and this was done by the combined forces of Europe, जो नहीं चाहते थे कि अब जो है नेपोलियन बोनापार्टे जो है he is annexing more. राइट अब हम स्टार्ट करते हैं एक एक करके. द वेरी फर्स्ट वी विल बी ऑफ कोर्स स्टडिंग अबाउट ग्रीस, मतलब कि कैसे कैसे एक एक करके सारे नेशंस आए थे. आज की जो जर्मनी, इटली, स्विट्जरलैंड, दे वर डिवाइडेड इनटू मतलब इनको अलग अलग नाम से बोला जाता था. दे वर कॉल्ड एज किंगडम, दे वर कॉल्ड एज डचीज मतलब राजकुमार. कैंटॉन्स, अभी भी आपके स्विट्जरलैंड वगैरह में हम लोग इसको कैंटॉन्स के नाम से जानते हैं. whose rulers had their autonomous territory. जैसे मैंने आपको बताया गुजरात के अंदर we had more than 543 जो है स्मॉल स्टेट्स, और सब में अपने अपने राजा होते थे. ईस्टर्न एंड सेंट्रल यूरोप वर अंडर ऑटोक्रेटिक मोनार्कीज. मीन्स ऑटोक्रेटिक का मतलब होता है एक गया उसके बाद he would be having the absolute power within the territories of which live diverse peoples. मतलब अलग अलग तरीके के लोग थे. They did not seem themselves as sharing a collective identity or a common culture. और सब अलग अलग भाषाएं बोलते थे, सबके अपने अलग अलग एथनिसिटी थी, मतलब अपना कल्चर था. Often they spoke different languages, belonged to different ethnic groups. For example, ये भी पेपर में आया हुआ है, the one I am going to do now. The Habsburg Empire that ruled over Austria and Hungary. मतलब ऑस्ट्रिया और हंगारी वाला जो पोर्शन था उस पर हैब्सबर्ग एम्पायर का रूल था. उसमें लोग रहते थे एल्पाइन रीजन, एल्पाइन आपका स्विट्जरलैंड में है, माउंट जो एल्प्स रीजन, द टायरल, ऑस्ट्रिया एंड स्विट्जरलैंड, बोहेमिया, where the aristocracy was predominantly German speaking. जो उनका हेड था वो जर्मन स्पीकिंग था, लेकिन जो लोग थे वो अलग अलग एरिया के थे. It also included the Italian speaking provinces of Lombardy and Venetia. In Hungary, that is Austria का आधा, half of the population spoke Magyar while the others spoke a variety of dialects. In Galicia, ये भी आपका हंगरी का एक मतलब की प्रोविंस है. द एरिस्टोक्रेसी जो थी, दो स्पोक पॉलिश. यानी विद इन एक अगर हम उनको अगर हम बोलते हैं हैब्सबर्ग एम्पायर के नीचे जो पूरे एरिया थे उसमें 100 तरीके के अलग लोग रहते थे. बिसाइड्स दीज 3 प्रोमिनेंट डोमिनेंट ग्रुप्स, दैट इज आपका एक जर्मन स्पीकिंग हो गया, एक आपके पॉलिश हो गया, मग्यार हो गया. There also lived within the boundaries of this empire a mass of subject peasant peoples, Bohemians, Slovaks, Slovenes in Carinola, Croats, Romans, मतलब इसके अलावा और भी अलग अलग लोग थे. So that is why assertion and reason. Such differences did not easily promote a sense of political unity. That is why they could not be united together. सिर्फ एक ही चीज थी जो इनको बांध के रखती थी और वो था इनका एम्परर जो कि कॉमन था, एंड दे ऑल वर लिविंग अंडर हिम. सो दिस वाज द condition of most of the European countries or the areas, right? Now, how the aristocracy and how the new middle class here refers to the people who were educated, who were emerging, उन्होंने किस तरीके से इन चीज़ों को जो है सामना किया. Socially and politically, a landed aristocracy was the dominant class on the continent. जिनके पास land होता था, and those who used to, aristocracy होता है जहाँ rich is ruling over the poor. The members of this class were united by a common way of life that cuts across the regional divisions. They owned estates, town houses, they spoke French for the purpose of diplomacy and high society. मतलब ये उनका कॉमन चीज था. ये लोग फ्रेंच बोलते थे, इनके पास बड़ी बड़ी प्रॉपर्टीज होती थी, एंड नॉर्मली ये लोग एक दूसरे के साथ में जो मतलब कि रिलेशंस रखते थे, दैट वाज यूजिंग द मैरिज. दिस पावरफुल एरिस्टोक्रेसी वाज हाउएवर न्यूमेरिकली अ स्मॉल ग्रुप. कितने थे? 10, 15, 20. आई वाज अभी मैं जब 2 दिन पहले आई हैड गॉन टू नागपुर लास्ट, मतलब दैट ऑन फ्राइडे, तो आई वॉज लुकिंग कि जब मैं वहाँ जा रही थी तो आई फाउंड दैट दैट एरिया इज़ वेरी वेरी स्मॉल एरिया. मतलब हार्डली मॉल्स हैं, और वो मॉल्स के नाम पर क्या है, जो हमारे यहाँ डिपार्टमेंटल स्टोर्स होते हैं उनको वो बोलते हैं मॉल्स. सो आई वॉज जस्ट थिंकिंग कि यहाँ पर गांधी जी हैड टेकन एंड आई हैड गॉन टू दिस सेवाग्राम ऑल्सो. तो मैं देख रही थी कि सेवाग्राम एकदम गांव है अभी भी. आई वॉज थिंकिंग कि अगर 2021 में इफ इट इज अ गांव, तो देन इन 1915 व्हेन गांधी जी हैड नेशनल आपका जो क्या कहते हैं कांग्रेस वो सेशन हुआ था, या फिर गांधी जी वहां रहते थे, तो उस वक्त में एक ऐसी जगह रही होगी. सो बेटा उस वक्त में जो आपका ये जो कॉन्टिनेंट्स थे, the population was less, and उसके अंदर भी the number of people who were aristocrats, they were in fact lesser in number. The majority of the population was made up of peasantry. To the west, the western side में फ्रांस, स्पेन, आपका होलैंड, उन जगहों पर land was farmed by tenants, मतलब वो लोग ज़मीन जो है पीजेंट्स को दे देते थे और वो लोग उसकी फार्मिंग करते थे, एंड स्मॉल ओनर्स. वाइल इन ईस्टर्न, दैट इज आपका पोलैंड, ऑस्ट्रिया वाला जो एरिया, वहाँ एंड सेंट्रल, द पैटर्न ऑफ लैंड होल्डिंग वॉज कैरेक्टराइज बाई वास्ट एस्टेट्स. वहाँ पर जो लोग होते थे एरिस्टोक्रेट्स, दे मतलब कि वो लोग ओन करते थे और अपने नीचे बॉन्डेड लेबर्स रखते थे. दैट वॉज अ डिफरेंस. In Western and parts of Central Europe, the growth of industrial production and trade meant the growth of towns and emergence of commercial classes whose existence was based on production for the market. मतलब कैसे एक नया middle class आया. Top class होते हैं aristocrats, lower class आपके हो गए peasants. So what was the growth of the middle class? बीच का कैसे आए? जब सेंट्रल यूरोप के अंदर इंडस्ट्रीज आई, तो इंडस्ट्रीज के साथ आपके आए कमर्शियल क्लासेस, यानी कि द बिजनेसमैन. इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन began in England in the second half of 18th century, but in France and parts of German states it occurred only in 19th century. So in its wake, जब इंडस्ट्रीज आ गए, तो इंडस्ट्रीज के साथ क्या हुआ, आपके जो हैं जो लोग पहले peasants थे, they started working in the industries. When the schools were opened, they joined the schools, and in this manner आपके एक नए and then industries को own करने वाले industrialists भी आ गए. So in its wake, new social groups came into being, a working class population, middle class made up of industrialists, businessmen, professionals. Yeah. In Central and Eastern Europe, these groups were smaller in number till 19th century. It was among the educated, liberal middle classes that the ideas of national unity following the abolition of aristocratic privilege gained popularity. और यही लोग थे जिन्होंने रेवोल्यूशन को स्टार्ट किया था. Right? So now what did liberal nationalism stand for these people? नेशन तो वो है जहां हमारी कॉमन आइडेंटिटी है. सो लिबरल नेशन क्या था? व्हाट वाज लिबरल नेशन? नेशन तो वो है जहां कॉमन था. द टर्म लिबरलिज्म derives from the Latin root liber. Liber का मतलब है free. It can be MCQs. For the new middle class, liberalism stood for freedom, for the individual, equality before the law. And politically, it emphasized on the concept of government by concept. मतलब liberal का मतलब individual के लिए था equal before law, and government के लिए liberal government का मतलब था where the government is formed with the consent of all. Since French Revolution, liberalism had stood for the end of autocracy, clerical privileges, a constitution and a representative government through parliament. मतलब उनके लिए फ्रेंच रेवोल्यूशन में इट वाज द मीनिंग. 19th century liberal also stressed inviolability of private property. पहले क्या होता था? the private people जो मतलब होते थे, they used to own, उसको abolish करना, socialism लेकर आना. Yet equality before law did not necessarily stand for universal suffrage. Universal suffrage is political freedom, means the right to vote. Suffrage is right to vote, and universal suffrage हो जाता when the voting right is given above an age without any discrimination. It should not be discriminated कि आप rich हो, आप poor हो. It should be given to everyone. That is why it is said universal. Men, women, rich, poor, everyone. You will recall that in revolutionary France, which marked the first political experiment in liberal democracy, the right to vote and to get elected was granted only to property owning men, जिनको हम कहते थे active citizens. Men without property and all women were excluded from this rights. And only for a brief period under Jacobins did all adult males enjoy suffrage. Women को तो तब भी नहीं था. However, the Napoleonic Code went back to limited suffrage and reduced women to the status of a minor, subject to the authority of fathers and husbands. Throughout the 19th and early centuries, women and non-property मतलब जिनके पास property नहीं थी, they organized opposition movements demanding equal rights. In the economic sphere, liberalism मतलब ये आपका political sphere में था, right? In the economic sphere, liberalism stood for freedom of markets. मतलब फ्री ट्रेड. मार्केट्स का मतलब होता है वेयर यू आर हैविंग फ्री ट्रेड, फ्री बिजनेस आइडियाज, एंड abolition of state imposed restrictions on the movement of goods and capital. वो आपका पॉलिटिकल स्फेयर था, ये आपका इकोनॉमिक है. During the 19th century, this was a strong demand for the emerging middle class. Let us take the example of German-speaking regions in the first half of 19th century. Napoleon's measures had created out of countless small principalities a a confederation of 39 states. उस वक्त 39 states में अपनी एक करेंसी, अपना एक वेट और अपना एक मेजरमेंट सिस्टम होता था. A merchant who was traveling from Habsburg to Nuremberg to sell his goods, उसे 11 कस्टम बैरियर्स पे रुकना पड़ता था एंड हर कस्टम बैरियर में ही हैड टू पे 5%. ड्यूटीज वर ऑफन लिवाइड अकॉर्डिंग टू द वेट और मेजरमेंट ऑफ द गुड्स, और हर एक जगह पे अपनी वेट थी, अपना मेजरमेंट था. मतलब हम अब क्या कहते हैं 1 मीटर 100 सेंटीमीटर, वहां ऐसा नहीं था. As each region had its own system of weights and measures, it was a time calculation, consuming calculation. The measure of cloth, for example, was L. L होता है आपका measurement of cloth, जैसे हम मीटर बोलते हैं. The measure of cloth, an L of textile material bought in Frankfurt would get you 54.7 cloth in Mainz. इन फ्रैंकफर्ट उसकी जो वैल्यू थी वो थी 54.7, मेन्स में 55.1, न्यूरमबर्ग में 65.6 एंड फ्रेडबर्ग में 53.5. जो आप समझ सकते हो कि उससे कितना कैलकुलेशंस में फर्क आता है. सो व्हाट डिड द पीपल वांट? इकोनॉमिक लिबर्टी. सो व्हाट डज इकोनॉमिक लिबर्टी मीन्स? यूनिफॉर्म ट्रेड्स, यूनिफॉर्म मेजरमेंट्स, यूनिफॉर्म करेंसी, यूनिफॉर्म ट्रेड यूनियंस, ये आपका इकोनॉमिक स्फीयर था. Such conditions were viewed as obstacles to economic exchange and growth by the new commercial classes. They were the middle class who argued for creation of unified economic territory, allowing the unhindered movement of good, people and capital. और इसके लिए अराउंड यूरोप एक यूनियन बना था, यूनियन जिसको हम कहते हैं ज़ोल्वेरिन. दिस इज अ वेरी कॉमन क्वेश्चन इन बोर्ड्स. व्हाट इज ज़ोल्वेरिन? द यूनियन at the initiative of Prussia and joined by most of the German states. Zollverein abolished tariff barriers and reduced the number of currencies from over 30 to 2. The creation of network of railways, जिससे कि आसानी से सामान जाए. Harnessing economic interest to national unification. जब हम इकोनॉमिकली एक दूसरे से जुड़ेंगे तो हम नेशन वाइज भी जुड़ेंगे. A wave of economic nationalism strengthened the wider national sentiments growing at that time.